Some important changes have been made to the NHS pension schemes in England and Wales, Scotland and Northern Ireland from the 1st of April 2008. To discuss some of the most important changes to these schemes, I'm going to be talking today to Dr Andrew Dearden, Chairman of the BMA's Pensions Committee. What is the difference between the new and old NHS pension schemes?
Well, probably the most well-known difference is that the normal pension age, or the age at which you can take your pension in full, has gone from 60 in the old scheme and is being increased to 65 in the new scheme. But in the new scheme, the way in which our pensions are built up, called the accrual rate, is actually slightly higher or better in the new scheme. But remembering that we have to work till we're 65 to actually obtain it if people move into it. There is some greater flexibility as well in the new scheme, especially around retirement and the way that you can continue to work and draw down your pension rather than having to retire before you can access your pension funds.
Can members of the existing scheme transfer over to the new scheme?
Yes, they can, but there's no need to panic or worry about it straight away. The first opportunity to transfer from the old scheme into the new scheme, if you wish to do so, is in July of 2009, so that's more than a year away. And then you'll have that opportunity for a further 12 months, and the last opportunity will be in June of 2010. But people need to consider very carefully if they're going to transfer from the old scheme into the new scheme. They need to have the information about their pensions, about other savings plans, their career intentions, their current age, for example. So we would advise them to get very good independent financial advice and understand both schemes before they consider transferring, because once they transfer from the old to the new scheme, they're unable to transfer back should any circumstances change later.
Can the BMA provide financial advice about these pension changes?
Well, the BMA Pension Department are not independent financial advisors. Independent financial advisors are trained and insured to give independent financial advice. The BMA Pension Department are full of pension experts in terms of technical information and support around pension questions. But anything that requires a financial decision or planning really is you should see an independent financial advisor, for example, BMA Services.
What are the new arrangements for taking extra tax-free lump sums on retirement?
Well, at the moment, in the current or the old scheme, your pension is set and then your lump sum is 3 times that amount, and there's no ability to negotiate or to change that. After the 1st of April, even if you stay in the old scheme, you'll be able to take more of your pension benefit as a tax-free lump sum. And so roughly speaking, you'll be able to take up to 5 times your pension as a tax-free lump sum, but your pension will reduce accordingly. There is a calculator on the NHS Pension Agency website, which can be accessed through the BMA Pension website, where you can put your pension and your lump sum in and then mess around a little bit to see what happens to your pension as your lump sum goes up and the pension goes down. You'll be able to opt for the amount of money you wish to take as a lump sum up to the maximum as I've described.
Can you explain why contribution rates had to increase and how the tiered contribution system works?
Well, pensions generally are increasing in costs, and one of the reasons for that is that we're living longer after retirement. And so the longer we live after retirement, the more the pension schemes have to pay out. So this is not a problem just within the NHS scheme, but practically all pension schemes throughout the country. Because people are living longer, because we're earning more, and because of some of the benefits that we've been able to introduce into the scheme from the 1st of April this year, the cost of the scheme is going up. Now, some people have been concerned that they're paying more money for the same scheme. In fact, what's happening is we are contributing more, but to an improved and enhanced scheme. So in a sense, we're paying more for more. But one of the things that we did notice and did find that as we went through the NHS pension review recently was that there was a discrepancy between people getting paid benefits compared to how much they were paying in. And those people who are higher earners within the NHS were getting a much better return on their money. And to balance that out slightly, we then introduced the tier contributions so that those who earn more are contributing more than the lower paid, but the actual final outcome is much more equitable than it was before that.
Now that members are unable to take out new added years contracts, what options do they have for improving their benefits?
Well, from the 1st of April 2008, there's a new ability to buy up to £5,000 of additional annual pension payments. And these can be purchased in blocks of £250. So you could buy 1,000 or 2 or 2,500 as you wish. Recently, the NHS agency has published the costings for these, and these are now available. These can be bought either as lump sum payments or as monthly contributions in a similar way to the added years contracts. And so what this allows is people to be much more flexible in the way that they save and how much they save, and that can be varied through a career. Contacting the NHS Pension Agency will allow them then to see what they could purchase over what period of time and how much that would then cost them.
Where can I go to get more information about these pension changes?
Well, I would suggest the first place to go would be the BMA's pension website, within the BMA website as a whole. On there is information and some advice on the changes, on the timings of those changes, but also from that site there are links then to the NHS Pension Agency website for further information and explanation. And for example, things like the lump sum pension calculator and also the costings of the new £5,000 additional pension benefits. So I would go to the BMA Pension website as my first stop.